Hello beautiful people, welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'll be giving you a prediction reading for the 15th of September. Now if you're curious and wondering what's happening in the world, stay tuned because there might be messages here for you to receive today. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Hit those like buttons guys because that helps me too, and leave your comments down below. You know I love hearing from you. I try and get back to you all. We are sometimes day apart because we're on different sides of the world sometimes, but we get there in the end. So I'll close my eyes and we'll get started and we'll just see what comes up. Oh, I've just got to mention to you guys, have you noticed the language? We know there's been a lot of people queuing up to see the Queen, apparently the Queen. But have you noticed they're using the word coffin? They're saying people are queuing up to see the coffin. Oh, it's just nuts, isn't it? I was saying yesterday in my video, if anyone watched that, about how the guides were saying it was like an empty box just sitting there. Oh, but, you know, grief is grief, isn't it? It doesn't matter what you're grieving to, I guess. It's just ridiculous though, isn't it? And now they're even using the word coffin on the media. They're not even saying the Queen, they're just saying that people are viewing her coffin. Oh, that's what's happening here in Australia anyway. All right, let's see where we go today. I'll just close my eyes, hold the fort. It's showing me people are upstanding. People are standing up. See, they're finding that strength inside. I keep saying it. It's like I originally said in my video, The Great Awakening, about Canada when they first stood up. I explained it like the coils in a mattress. Everyone was having to expand like a little spring at their own pace. So people are starting to get into their power. They are. Because it's about fighting back against government is not easy. We know it's not easy. We've all done it here on my channel. So they've really got to get into their inner power, their strength, their wisdom. But people are starting to really stand up in their true power, which means their true nature. I'm definitely getting that. That's the people waking up. It's like they're learning how to stay in their stability. So it's like they've learned, it's like, for example, if you're learning karate, Cobra Kai's back on Netflix, so it's just in my head today because I was watching it last night. I've done karate as well. I know a few of you out there I haven't got my karate jacket on today. I know a lot of you like my karate jacket with the patches on it. But it's like that. It's like they're having to do this training. This is the people waking up. It's like they're going, ish, knee, and they're having to like stabilize their leg and their power and strength. So it's like they're having to get the good body stance. But this isn't about the physical body. Well, it is a little bit, but it's more about their mental stability. So these people are having to get their mental stability right, because they've been knocked around for a few years. We've got to remember that they've been just getting dictated to, being told what to do, haven't had to think for themselves. And now they're having to stand on their own 2 feet and become independent. It's almost like comparing it to when like a teenager leaves mum and dad's house and moves away. It takes them a while to get on their feet and become independent. Sort of mum and dads often have to prop them up financially or support them with getting, signing rental documents and things like that. So these people, that's what they're showing me. It's that sort of scenario where they're still trying to get their independence and stand on their own 2 feet away from government. But that's okay, as long as they're getting away from government. So that's what I'm seeing. Because they're so tired. They cannot take this anymore. They can't keep going down this road of tyranny and dictatorship because they know that's where it's going. They know it. I keep saying the veils have lifted, that they can see these things. The curtains are drawn back. These people are seeing it and they're exhausted. So they know they have to do something. And really that all starts with getting in your own power first. We all know that here. Let's see where else we go with this. God, I'm getting this like someone's heading to all the capitals. Like we talk here about all the capital cities and a lot of these cities that they're creating into smart cities. And these are going to become the illuminated platforms for their rollouts. Like, we already know that here on my channel. They're really going to illuminate. They're showing me all these, like, big cities, like, really lit up by renewables, I'm guessing. I don't know how that's going to work. You'd need some very sunny days for that to be happening. But I am getting that these global leaders, they're going to start to really put the spotlight on the cities. We knew it was going to happen in the cities first. So the cities are really going to get hit hard, because this is where they're going to start to expand everything out from the cities. Are definitely getting that. So it's almost like someone's visiting all the cities. So it could be someone in each country. They might have somebody who's assigned to the smart city rollout. It's almost like, this is what they're showing me, it's almost like there's a designated team that's assigned to the rollout. So this could be the renewables team, or there's like some, we know it, big corporate industry that's like taking over that, or taking like control of this moving forward. So it's like they're putting, these global leaders are like putting that into someone else's hands, like a big professional. It's so frustrating, isn't it? So that's what I'm getting. There's been this like, oh, sorry guys. This is just the most complex event that's currently going on, isn't it? You can't even, it makes you that tired even thinking about it, because it's that complex. But I feel like now these global leaders have like handed the renewable city kind of event to this other mob. It sounds like the mafia mob, doesn't it? That's pretty much how it goes, because there's so much bloody money involved in it, power. But I am getting that they've handed things over to these renewable professionals to take charge of that moving forward. So they're kind of wiping their hands of it. We know they're not, but they're pretending that they've handed that over to the professionals, and that's what I'm going to be getting. So we might start getting bombarded with a lot of this. And actually, funny enough, sorry guys, the energy around this is just ridiculous. It's that exhaustive energy. Everyone is tired of this whole, this is all the people, including us. Everyone's tired of this whole renewable garbage that they're just shoving down our throats. They're literally just shoving it down our throats now. Oh, it's just terrible, isn't it? Hang on, there was something I was going to say with that. Oh, that's what I was going to say. The start looking and watching now the ads on TV, because I keep looking at all these ads on the TV and they're all around renewables. We've got like Ampol, BHP, all these very big corporate companies, and a lot of them are mining companies and things like that. But they always finish off their ad with the person plugging in the electric car, just like we said they would in their subliminal messages, because these are the visuals that go into people's minds, remember? And I always look at all the words in the background, like what's going past the screen, because we know they're very good at their subliminal messages. So keep an eye out for that, because they're getting very clever with their advertising campaigns. Not that many of us watch TV, do we? We try to avoid it as much as possible, especially at the moment. Oh my gosh, all it is the Queen and Harry and Meghan were marching, and William was there, and Kate, and oh my gosh, it's just in our faces all the time, isn't it? You poor guys over there. I can't even imagine what you're going through in the UK and that. Oh gosh, we're getting bombarded. All right, I'll see where else we go with this today. Oh, I'm getting, this is in Australia. I'm getting something's happening around the town of Orange. I've got the feeling there's some sort of mine or something out there at Orange. Let me know if you know anything about that down below. But I am getting the town of Orange, which is a little town that's probably about 5 hours, maybe 6 from Sydney inland. I think it's sort of Sydney, Bathurst, Orange. It's quite a big country town. but it's been growing a lot of lately. So maybe there is something planned for orange. I am getting that. And this could be around, see, we know they're kind of looking for all their resources for this renewable stuff. So there could be something that's going to really take off in orange. I am getting that specifically. I got cans yesterday. So there's a lot of activity happening here in Australia. We know that. So I am seeing that there could be something really taking off in orange. Hang on, let's see where else we go. I'm getting Portugal, France, Munich, Belgium, Sweden, Netherlands, Denmark. These areas are all getting hit hard now. It is definitely like the renewable takeover. We know that they're pushing and pushing and pushing. They're pushing their agenda in these places. And you're going to start to feel the real brunt of that. You're going to start to really feel the impact of that now. Where if anyone's living there, let us know what's kind of going on. But I am feeling that the renewables, the impact of that is going to be huge. And not just the renewables. I do feel you're also getting that cost of living, real extreme price hikes. It's almost in these areas, and I did say you could be like trial areas. I do feel like there's that real cost of living crisis now. You guys are really hitting that like tipping point where people are just completely living on the edge now. They've raised things. It could even be fuel and everything. They're talking about fuel excise, is it, and all this stuff. That people are living on the edge, but these kind of things are going to start to tip them now. So that's why I feel like you could get a lot of people rising up, because they've like pushed people to the limits. And I'm getting that song again by Eagles. They're taking it to the limits. Oh no. But they push people, and they push people hard, don't they? But I did say you might be a bit of an experiment to see how the people react, and if the people fight back. So I am getting that for you guys up there. You're doing it really tough at the moment. You really are. It's showing me like a ball that's made of like rubber bands, like all twisted together, and this is the energy of the people. There's like this heap of rubber bands all twisted together. I think that's how they make golf balls. Isn't that what's on the inside of golf balls, like a heap of rubber bands? I don't know, but it's like people, this is how people are feeling inside. They're all knotted up, but they're this rubber band energy that they're ready to like break, like, you know, when everything's just too tight and then something has to give, and then it all just unravels. It's like when you pull an elastic band. If you pull it and stretch it too far, it snaps. Well, that's what I'm getting about these people in these areas. They're being pushed too far. It's all an experiment. It really is. Well, we know everything's been an experiment, but this is I feel the renewable experiment up there. You're getting pushed really hard to the brink of collapse, and that's why I'm getting all these like rubber bands really tightly just all rolled together in this like ball. It's that really tight energy, but it's all going to start to break. And what the rubber band, that's what they're saying, the rubber bands all in that ball represents like tension. It's tension in people. It's really building until things snap. So fingers, that's October. Well, we're still getting people rising up, but October, I feel like things have been pushed out a lot because of the Queen, the Queen dying. Let's see where else we go. Hang on a minute. Yeah, I'm getting the cruise lining industry. We know that's sort of trying to make a comeback, and it will for a little while. I feel like they're going to lay off them a little bit. It's like they focus on certain things, isn't it? And then they drag them down, and then they open them back up again. So I do feel like cruise lining has been opened back up, but they're still going to be really tough on them. It's still going to be a bit of a unrelaxing holiday being on a cruise ship, because there's going to be so many rules and regulations that you still have to follow. Like if you're in crowded places, they might still make you wear a mask and this kind of thing. Like it's funny, isn't it? Because it's still like that freedom isn't quite back. There's still this sense of control, isn't there? They might still take your temperature before you get on board. There's just all these little things that it's funny, isn't it? But they're trying to normalize it. So annoying, isn't it? Why can't they just... I still have to sign in at my daughter's school. I'm sure you guys have this too if you go probably to a medical facility, no doubt. They still make us sign in at the school. If I go and pick her up early or anything and I go into the office, I have to sign in. And our premiers stopped tracking and tracing so long ago. So there's no need for us to be signing in and out because it's just going nowhere. Our premier said it wasn't. They weren't even looking at it, and he was laughing when he said it. So this is all about the tracking and tracing, isn't it? Because there's no other reason why you would have to be QR coding anymore, but we know what it's all about, don't we? So that's what I'm getting sort of for the cruise liners. It's still this, well, like I said, they're trying to normalise things in certain industries. I'll just see where else we go. Hang on a minute. Oh, God. I think it was you, Danielle. I just briefly read your comment. I've got to get back to it. I haven't read the whole thing. I'll get back and comment. I try to get back to all your comments. I might be day behind, but I do get to them eventually. About just the rain. They're showing me, I think you were mentioning you had a really bad storm or something, Danielle. But we're getting more rain even here on the east coast of Australia again. They're predicting it. So I'm getting this visual of lots of rain and us carrying our umbrellas. So get yourself a good umbrella or raincoat. Chris, you might need the tarp for over your tent because it sounds like they're going to hit us with a lot of rain. And the thing is, it's a bit crazy, isn't it? Because if you think about it, they're trying to go to these renewables, but you don't want all grey skies all the time when you're trying to, when you've got solar panels on your house, you want as much sunshine as you can get. So it's kind of like, you do have to wonder. We have a lot of questions, don't we, about a lot of this stuff. We really do. It's almost like it all contradicts itself, doesn't it? Like if they are cloud seeding, which a lot of us think they could be, it seems an excessive amount of water, doesn't it? I don't know. It's just very strange. Let me know what you think about some of this, guys, because I do find it very strange. Yeah, just that they're showing me that visual of making sure you've got your umbrella at all times. And that's for everybody. That's for us in Australia, you guys in Canada, America, England, Wales, UK, everywhere, Germany. Just, keep your umbrellas at the ready because it's interesting, isn't it? Because we're still sorting all this out ourselves. This is so complex. Like I've been saying to you for a long time, this is the iceberg. There is a lot under the iceberg that we're not even aware of. And we're still piecing things together. Even though our eyes are like fairly wide open, we're still piecing a lot of this together because we always know. There doesn't seem to be any logical sense in a lot of this. But obviously we're not seeing the full drafted plans. So we're still trying to join the dots ourselves actually in a lot of these things. It's very complicated. And then, of course, when they get people standing up and fighting back against them, these government leaders have to take a detour. So then it throws everybody else off course as well, because it changes things slightly, like even for us. Hang on a minute. I'm getting this image, I keep saying it, of these ministers or like one of the leaders. Someone's going to fall over. They are. And they're holding their leg. It's like they've tripped over. Like they've tripped over their own nonsense, probably. But that's what I'm getting. It's like they've hurt themselves, or they're pretending they've hurt themselves. And they're trying to get the sympathy, but no one's feeling sympathy for them. God, we know no one would on my channel. We'd be we'd be not reacting probably. But I am getting that someone's like falling over. It's going to be someone that's significant, but not, like I keep saying, they're not right at the top. They're sort of further down the line in the chain. They never get the big guys, do they? But I am getting that someone's got like an injury. Oh, it's probably to their ego knowing these bloody leaders, isn't it? Because somebody probably beat them at the renewable rollout. Oh, we know how it goes. They're so competitive, aren't they? But I do feel like someone's going to get sort of taken down. They're going to catch themselves out. I sort of keep saying that around the, like someone's going to record it, or there's going to be like this proof. Oh, but they still get away with it, don't they? God, look at Boris with all his parties and everything. Although he's not there now, is he? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it does catch up with him eventually. And let me see if I can get anything with that. I'm getting that things are like unfolding like way back in the background. They're showing me like, you know how I always talk about these people running out of the tunnel? I always talk about the people waking up trying to get out of the tunnel and running like the Mission Impossible to the music. And these government leaders, like things were starting to collapse. Well, it's showing me like way back in the tunnel, which is puppet masters. They've propped all this up. So they've managed to stop the tunnel collapse, which we know they do. They go into their panic mode. And they've propped all the tunnel back up, and they're restabilising it all now. So they're restabilising their reset because they know they hit too hard and people got overwhelmed and overcome. And so this is what we're getting now. They've restabilised the reset. And like I said now, they're bringing it all out. I talked about the red carpet being hammered down yesterday with nails and everything. And they're wanting this to be a more permanent thing. They don't want to. This is the government leaders and the people in charge. They don't want this to be like a wishy-washy thing. They want this to be like more of a concrete set in stone motion moving forward. That's the reset, and definitely renewables and all this. God, it makes you tired even thinking about it. It's just a huge event, isn't it, really? Hang on a sec. So they are rebuilding, and they've managed to restructure everything to the point that they've become more stabilised. This is the global leaders. God, we all know Bill Gates is buying more farms, and all this is happening like in the background, see? They're stabilising their future moving forward. I mean, why would you need to buy more farms, Bill Gates? Because we know he knows where it's all headed down the road of Vegansville. Hang on, let me see if there's something to close with today. They're showing me like Australia. I've been getting Australia a bit lately because we're all part of the experiment, a bit like Canada was. And we're just like being taken along for the ride. They're showing me like we're like on this roller coaster, and this is like the map of Australia with wheels on it. And we're just like being taken along for this ride. And if you think of a roller coaster, you're pretty much out of control. It's not like you can press the button and stop it or anything. You're just on this ride going around, and you're really relying on the people who are in charge of the ride. So I do feel like Australia's just being taken, I guess, for a big ride. Someone's like controlling Australia. Definitely. I'm definitely getting that. And it's like we've just got our hands up. You know, in a roller coaster, not that I go on them because they get really sick on rides, but I'm sure there's some of you out there that love them. You put your hands up and people go, ah, and they scream and everything. Well, that's what I'm getting for Australia. Everything's so out of control down here. So we're on this roller coaster ride just being taken, dropped down, taken up, dropped down, taken up, spun around. Definitely getting Australia. We're definitely like on this crazy roller coaster ride at the moment. And it's kind of out of control. And that's how it feels sometimes. I was watching actually Elbow, I call him Albanese, our Prime Minister. Oh God, this is so tiring, all this nonsense, isn't it? And, okay, enough yawning. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes I just get that tired energy. I'm sure you guys are feeling it too. And he stumbles over his words a lot, and it's like he doesn't really know what he's doing. It does feel like we're out of control on a roller coaster, and our leader is a bit clueless as well, because I think he as much as he's a bit competitive, I still think he's a bit of a follower as well. I think he just, you know, I don't think he so much wants to be Top Gun. He wants to be up there with it all. But I do feel he looks a little lost. So I feel like Australia's a bit lost on this roller coaster at the moment. That's the image I'm getting for Australia. And New Zealand, you might not be far behind. I feel like you guys are kind of on the roller coaster at the moment, and you don't know where you're going either. You're just going around and up and down, and it's a very frustrating feeling, isn't it, when you're just not on stable ground. Things just change on a dime, don't they? They just change things so quickly. And you know, as we're moving forward, and this is for all of us guys, you do sometimes have those little thoughts like, God, are they going to lock us down again? What are they going to do? See, here in Australia, we've all got they're giving us the illusion that you guys are getting 3 weeks holidays for the Queen dying. Like, we're getting 1 day off next week. But we're getting told, like, you guys have shut down and everybody's allowed to have these 3 weeks of mourning. That's what they're telling us. It's ridiculous, isn't it? And you guys are telling me a whole other story. So go figure. See, how's the lies? It's so easy to deceive people, isn't it? And honestly, it's just so frustrating. Let me see if there's something to close with today. Yeah, and that's what they're saying. Like, if anyone's watched the news with the Queen and people queued up, there's a lot of tears, there's a lot of grief, there's a lot of mourning, there's a lot of emotions. And have you noticed the amount of tears and things coming out of people? It's not anger anymore. I mean, we know people are angry. There's still people around that are. I'm not saying they're not. But have you noticed, like, it's coming out like as tears now? I know some people think it's sadness about the Queen, and some of it might be. These people are so exhausted. They're so tired. We've got to remember what's going on with them. And now they're having to deal with all of this. They're having to deal with their life. It's almost like they're probably sad because they know their life is going down the gurgler. It's like I said the other day, or yesterday, was it? About there's going to be that drop, like after the wedding. There's going to be just that tower moment. Louise, you got the tower moment as well. The tower moment where everybody just drops back down and has this very flat energy, because at the moment they're getting all their emotions out. And look, it's not a bad thing. We've got to take it as a positive, because they've got to go through their soul breakdowns. They've got to go through their griefs, their angers, their sadness, their hurts in order to move forward. So that when we see these tears and things, it's actually not a bad thing, even if they're just crying at a probably empty box, which most of us think they are. It's still okay, because it's healing their past hurts. See, people might have built those hurts up for a lifetime, and this is that opportunity for them to release it and let it go. So we'll take it as a positive if we see people crying and very upset, because it is, like I keep saying, it's like losing a family member. For people living there, it was such a huge part of their life. Gosh, one woman they interviewed who was even there for her coronation and everything. And she's an older woman, so she's been through everything with her. So that's what I'm getting. The grief isn't a bad thing. We have to see it as a positive. The fact that these people are going through their awakening process might really help people to find that strength inside of them. Let's hope so. Fingers crossed. Hang on a tick. Yeah, and the guides are saying we just walk beside all these people now. It's like, oh, God. We just have to walk parallel. That's all we can do now with our lives moving forward. It's up to these people what they do, if they jump ship or they don't jump ship and they stay in that narrative. All we can do is walk parallel. It's very important that we don't go back and cross into those negative states, because we've moved too far forward and we've come too far. Again, they're showing me the biker jackets and us zipping up the biker jackets and just being free on our Harley Davidsons as the Braveheart bikers, roaming the countryside, just doing our own thing. That's what we have to do. And that's why it's very important that we stay in that parallel position and we don't get drawn back into that old narrative. Not that we were ever in the old narrative, but we don't start arguing and all this sort of thing again and having conflict, because it's not part of who we are anymore. We've accepted and we trust in our beliefs and our strengths and our power and the decisions we've made, and now we've just got to keep striving and moving forward. And that's what I'm going to leave you with today. Have a wonderful day, everybody. This was just a little bit of a weird one today, but that's okay. Sometimes there's a message in it for somebody. I tell you what there is in it, tired energy. Everyone is so tired of this. They are. It's not just us. We're tired. We're tired beyond belief. But these people are tired, and that's the main thing, because then it causes them to wake up, because then they know something's going on, because their body doesn't feel right, just doesn't feel energized. All right, I'm going to say goodbye from Australia. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you this afternoon. Take care, everybody. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye from Australia. Bye.